everyone, this is Caitlin from Caitlin's Family Farmstead, and I'm here today because I need to plant something. I went to the greenhouse near me and I bought some plants. I kind of went overboard a little bit, but they had some really good sales on. So I bought quite a few plants here. I had a bunch of plants, house plants that weren't looking good, or some had died. I had a pot here that this one died. So I want to refill, get some looking fresh, because house plants are one way I can get my hands into some dirt, and they're really good for you. A lot of them have benefits to them for air quality, and that's always a good thing to have in your house, is better air, because especially in the winter it can kind of get stuffy or stale almost. And you want to have fresh, nice air in your house. And sometimes, like right now, it's really cold outside, so cracking a window to get some fresh air in isn't always going to happen. It's just too cold outside. So I want to add some new plants to my house, get that fresh in here. Plus, when I look at plants, it makes me happy. And you know, in the winter, sometimes it's a lot darker outside, it's dull. Seeing this fresh color and just life right now is really nice to see. So I'm gonna get planting. I got a bunch of different ones, and I'm gonna not maybe show you everything that I got, but I'm gonna show you a few things, and a few things that I learned while I was at the greenhouse. So, so for this pot, I got, it's just like a, I don't know even what this is called, but this plant was in a an arrangement at my grandfather's funeral. And when he passed away several years ago, my grandma and my mother split up that arrangement and gave each one of us children a plant. And unfortunately, mine died. So that's why I went looking for this plant, because I wanted to replace it again, because this one had a little bit of sentimental value. So that's what this is going to be. So he's going in here. I will be planting him here. Make sure you add new house planting soil. Keep it fresh, because sometimes they can almost dry out, and once they dry out, it's like you can put water on them and it just won't absorb and soak in. So as you're planting, make sure you have a little bit of water in your ground. Let it sit for a little bit, and then add or plant your plant, and then water again. And that will keep your, and make sure you don't ever let your ground go really, really dry, or else it becomes like this ground that's in here right now. Because that plant died a little while. It's just like dust more than dirt even. So that's one thing. I got this because isn't that cute? He's adorable. So that one I think I'm going to be putting in this really cute pot that I got, and I got matching pots. One smaller one. So that one's going to be really cute. I think this guy actually needs a little bit, I have to double check if he needs more sun or less sun. I have to double check that one. Because you got to watch, because some plants don't like to be in sun and some do. And this guy, he's going to go in this pot. He's not planted yet. I just stuck him in there to see how it fits. This one I think is the same kind of family as this one, this little guy. And they say medium to low. This one does. Moderate watering. And I'm going to see if I can bring this bird, that name, Calafia Triostar. So I thought, like, that's awesome color. I don't always get that red underneath, so that's kind of fun to have, and it'll brighten up a corner in my house. Plants here that I learned a lot about when I was at my nursery, and it's really awesome to be able to go out your nursery sometimes this year. I was actually there, and I think I was one of maybe 2 or 3 other people visiting the nursery, so that's an awesome time. They can answer your questions. The staff that I go to the local nursery that I go to are amazing. They love telling me lots of stuff. I like asking questions. But anyways, so this little plant here I saw, and I thought, oh, he's cute. It's kind of got ruffly leaves, and they're green and they're pink, and it's just kind of really fun. And what I seen when I seen this plant is there is several different ones. So I can, when I pull this guy out here, I'll do that right now, and I'll just do it into this pot here. If I'm very careful, I can just go and pull and split this apart, just like this. So this is awesome because then I can go and add him into some of my pots that I have with a big plant, but it has not like that's maybe taller, but it doesn't have a lot of filled in around the base of it. Or I could pot it and pot it up and let it grow bigger, because this will definitely get a lot bigger. And then maybe even sell them. Like I've sold some we've done garage sale type yard sales in the spring at my sister's place because she lives in town, and we've been able to sell, like I sell starts sometimes there. So this is kind of awesome. People like house plants, and house plants aren't cheap. They're actually quite expensive. But this is one way from taking a plant. Well, it was a $6 plant, but it was on sale yet too. But taking this plant, and I can make 1, 2, I'd probably make that one. You could make it 3, 4, but I would probably do that together. 5 different ones. So that's pretty cool. That's one thing you can do with that plant. Unfortunately, excuse me, I do not know that name of that plant. I wish I did. It's not on the outside of this pot. This one's kind of cool. She told me what this is. It's a reverse spider plant. So I have spider plants, but she told me that, and I'm like, good air quality control, and what fun. Like I had to have another spider plant because spider plants are awesome. So he will find a good spot in my house as well. And then, so this one here, I don't know the name again of it, but this one I know I was reading, I should have wrote it down when I was there, but I know she said that this one requires sun, and I have a purpose for this one. I have a plant behind me, one of my old plants, and it's looking a little dull. So I might show you how I'm going to do that. So, but this plant, she was also telling me that this plant, and I don't know what the root structure is like with this one. I could tell that this one would split apart, but I can see that I bet I could split this maybe 3 times. But what she was also saying to me is that this is the type that at this nodule right here, see how there's a big leaf, and then there's that little one. If you cut right here, slice it, so you have this part here off. I would probably get rid of this leaf. And then from here to here, you can put into water, and then it should start growing roots. Or if you have, in a greenhouse situation, what they do instead, they'll go into like a tent room that's really heated, and they will put and it's moist and heated, and they will put them straight into the ground, and they'll root too. So what I was thinking is, I have in-floor heat in this room. I could maybe even get a nice piece of dirt, put it in the dirt, and then put like a clear dome, plastic dome over top, and get that moisture level high, that humidity up, and then with that heat, I may be able to do it that way as well. So I'm gonna maybe give that, why not? I could see if I can do that with these ones, because this is really pretty. It is gorgeous. It's got such nice coloring on the bottom, and I can maybe propagate some more of these and also have these for sale in the spring, and it's January, so I could maybe have a nice little plant for selling as well. I think that I can do that with this one as well. You can split this guy all apart. So when you're buying houseplants, oh, and she also said this. See, I had to go get these ones because they both had green. Sorry, let's go back on this guy here for a second. Move some of this stuff out of the way. This little thing, it's like a ground creeper. So she said you can trim it down a little bit to keep it having a mat and ground creep. And she said too, this one you can cut it and propagate it just like this one. So that's really cool. And if you look real close, it's got like pink undertones too under the leaves. So that's really cool. I just love that little pop of color. It makes it have a little bit more to it. So anyways, I'm gonna get planting here. I have a So this is the plant that was my project. So I have this original plant who's very nice and tall. I just noticed he keeps losing all his leaves down lower. He's growing on an angle because he was reaching the sun, and I needed to rotate him more often. So I just got to make sure I do that. But anyways, he kept losing all these leaves near the bottom and keeps growing up higher. What I was told at the nursery is I can actually pinch the top, and that will stop him from growing up so high, and he'll keep him lower and hopefully keep his leaves lower. I'm going to try doing that. We'll see how that works. I don't know, maybe he's just past his prime and I'll have him for a little bit longer and I have to replace. But I would like to save him, try to do that. So what I did here is the plants that I had bought, I was going to split this one in half, but once I got into the actual plant, I noticed it was in a small plug, and it must not have been there for very long. The root structure wasn't real big that it allowed me to cut it in half. Now this plant here, I did split in half and put it in here, and because I didn't have that this one split in half, I decided that one that I could split with these curly little leaves, I put it in the corner in the back there. All of these plants have a real nice, they're all green foliage with that little bit of pinky purpley undertones, and I just love it because even this tall guy has a bit of, I got dirt on my fingers, isn't that nice? Has a little bit of a pink along its leaf. So anyways, this is pretty fun. My helper fell asleep. which is too much work. So I hope you had fun watching this. Get growing. I love putting stuff in the ground. It makes me happy. It feels good to get some dirt on the floor and on the table. I have some cleaning up to do, but it's so nice to be able to see vibrant colors. Just look at that. Isn't that pretty? Gorgeous. Yeah, love color. Need color in my life, and it makes me happy. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. I hope you learned something. I know I did when I went to the greenhouse. Go to your greenhouses, ask questions. Oh, one thing I was going to say also is, like I did with this guy, by cutting and splitting them apart, you can do that with your vegetables too. So if you guys end up going to a greenhouse too in the spring, look for those plants in pots. I watch all the time, and I buy plants that will have 2 or whatever, and you can split them apart. Sometimes that saves cost savings for you. So anyways, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. I'll see you around. Bye-bye. Make sure you save your pots. These are awesome for when you need to pot up those starts in the spring that you're starting.